posture alignment specialist, back again because of vertigo. It seems to be getting more and more common, and another lady in my class had it this morning. So I thought I would do 4 exercises that help with the vertigo. Now, viral vertigo is something a little bit different, but positional vertigo, which the majority of people have, is the common one that we need to do something about. And this is all to do with your head position. So when you're properly aligned and all your joints are vertically stacked on top of each other and horizontal with its pair on the opposite side, the body is in correct alignment. When one of those joints starts to deviate, then the body's positioning also has to compensate, and the head does that as well. So if you have a head that juts forwards, again, if you have a profession or a hobby that makes you lean forwards and you feel that you're getting tension through the neck, then vertigo could be a bit of a thing when you're lying flat and you start to get a bit sort of dizzy when you get up, or even whilst you're down there. Then it's a horrible feeling, and we can do something about it. So these 4 exercises, I'm holding these because we need them, which will become clear in a second. 4 exercises, very simple, very easy to do, done daily, and of course exactly the way that I'm telling you to do them, because there is a reason for everything in posture alignment therapy. All the body positionings, everything is there for a reason. So do please try them. Do let me know how you get on, and any questions, as always, please ask. So I'm going to put this down for a minute, but we're going to need this for the first one, because the first one we're sitting and all we are doing is putting that cushion in between the knees. Now when we sit, what we don't want to be doing is this. What we want to be doing is having a pelvis that, so you're sitting on your sit bones here, they're called them sit bones. Okay, you've got your hips, your knees and your feet in line. I shall take my shoes off. Okay, and you've got a nice arch in the lumbar spine here. Okay, we're not leaning backwards or forwards either. So if you've got sort of like a squidgy cushion like this, just plump it up so that you've got that position in between the knees. Your hands and arms are just resting on your thighs and you're looking straight ahead. Maintain this little bit of a lumbar curve that you've got going on down here. Release tummy muscles, okay? Forget them, don't pull them in, don't do anything with them. All you do is got to focus on here is the inside thigh pulling and pushing into that cushion. So it's a squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. You want a 50 or 60% squeeze on that cushion, and you want to gently squeeze in and gently release. Okay, so it's not which makes all the muscles kick in and is totally unnecessary. It's a gentle movement. We want to activate here. We don't want to do anything else. So pull yourself up, pull your shoulders back, release your tummy muscles. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Like I say, 50 or 60% squeeze. You don't need to pulverise the cushion. Just slowly in, slowly release. If you're anything like me, your stomach muscles want to kick in, and don't let them. Make sure that you're keeping yourself upright but not with tension. Okay, just release any tension and just continue to squeeze. You're going to do 20 and you're going to do 3 sets. Okay, maintain your lumbar curve. Maintain a nice smooth press in and a nice smooth release. Okay, simple as that. Make sure your feet, I don't know if you can see them in the video, are pointing dead straight ahead and they're hip distance apart. Very important. Okay, 3 sets of these, 20 times. So once you've done your 20, take the cushion away, deactivate. 10 or 15 seconds, just give yourself a bit of a break, go back, do the same thing, get the positioning right, sit yourself up, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Okay? No other way than the way that I'm saying. Okay? Rather than let's get over with, it's going to work. No, that won't work. Okay? Great. Second one, And if you've seen one of my other videos, then you'll be able to recognise this. And I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see my feet in the video, because the next exercise is heel raises. So, hip distance apart with the feet again, toes facing forwards, and that's your second toe in. So it might feel a bit pigeon-toed, but that's the way it is. Arms by your sides, little crease in between the shoulder blades to pull the shoulders back and down. And what you want to do, the first feeling that you should get, is the bottoms of the front of the feet just pushing yourself up off the floor, and then controlled back down. You don't want to swing backwards and forwards, you don't want to lift. So that first feeling of pushing off the floor is the one that you want. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. So shoulder blades pulling back and down. You're coming right up through the centre of the foot, not on an edge or an edge of the foot with the ankles wobbling all over the place. They might do that at the beginning, but hopefully as you go through, then they stop doing that. You want to try and imagine someone pulling you up with a piece of string directly straight up. If you find yourself rocking backwards and forwards, you're doing it either too quickly, or you're lifting off the floor, or your centre of gravity is still too far forwards. And if you have a vertigo issue, that is likely to be the case. So you're going to have to work on pulling those shoulders back, getting that crease in between the shoulder blades, and lifting straight up. Okay, that's the first position. We've got 10 in that position. Second position is literally, if you've done ballet, the second position. Toes out and heels in. They don't need to be together as long as they're close. Okay, so exactly the same thing. You're pushing off the floor to lift yourself up. And again, you want to do this so that you're not coming up at an angle. Your ankles don't go out, which they more than likely would do, and straight down. So lift and straight down. Lift and straight down. Again, they might a little bit wobbly as you get into it, but as the muscles start to kick in, okay, it should feel a little bit more stable. Okay, 10 in the second exercise, second position. Third position, toes in, heels out. And this is the one you probably won't like very much, but your pelvic position has now changed. You will need to make sure those shoulders are pulling back and down and your arms are by your sides. You still want to think of that piece of string pulling you up, and this is the one that's a little bit tricky. Okay, so with straight legs, weight through the centre of the foot, push off the bottoms of the feet to lift yourself up. Now, because the brain is very clever and very adaptable, what it will want to do is put your feet back into a position that is comfortable for you. Well, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you are in charge of what you're doing, and you may need to have to look down and check your feet and just change the position back to how they should be, not how the brain would like your body to be. There's a big difference, because quite often people have feet that do this when they should be doing this. So to do this is going to be a little bit alien, but we need to address the balance of the legs in the hips, that addresses the pelvis, which addresses the spine, which brings the head back. Okay, so from the floor, pushing off the floor, first thing you should feel is the bottoms of the feet pushing down. Lift those shoulders back and down. Okay, fix them back. Release tummy muscles. Okay, you don't want to do this pulling forwards, so keep that centre of gravity back. 10 times in this position. Okay, aim to do 3 sets of that if you can. So build up for 1. Then if one is good, you can do that. Do 2, even if it means doing the second set of 5 repetitions until you can build up. And then do a third set. Okay? 3 sets in each of the 3 positions, 10 times. Great. Third exercise, again, really simple, but really effective, because when your head comes forwards, all the muscles in the neck and the shoulders then get stretched, get tense, get tired, get overworked. We need to work this whole area so that all the muscles in the back are working properly. Shoulder rolls, extremely simple. Check your feet. Make sure that they are in the right position when we do a standing exercise. Again, with that second toe in facing forwards. So with the shoulder roll rotation, 4 movements, 1 rotation, and we're going to do both ways. But 10 times one way, 10 times the other way, and I'll explain. Arms by your sides. Let the arms hang. They don't do anything in this exercise. Let your back muscles and your shoulder muscles do the work. Okay? So, forwards. Lift right up to your ears, then back, and then down. So it's a smooth movement, although there's 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Forwards first, then lift, then back, and then down. Forwards, up, back, and down. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you use your arms so that you can see the difference. So forwards, lift, back, and down. Okay, slightly over exaggerated, but that's your arms doing the work of the shoulder and the back muscles. Let your arms just hang. They don't do anything. Forwards, lift, back, and down. If you feel your elbows start to lift and this starts to happen, that's you using your arms, okay? So 10 forwards, and then we're going to go backwards this time. So back, again, not that, just back. You'll feel the muscles in between the shoulder blades here. And if I do this backwards, you'll go back, you see the difference? Back and down. So it's like drawing a stiff pair of curtains in together. So you're pulling those shoulder blades down and back, okay? So it's down and back, then lift, then forwards, and then down. Okay, that's the motion of that. So back, lift, all the way up to your ears, forwards and down. We want the full rotation of that shoulder. Make those back muscles work. Okay, those are the ones we're working the deep muscles here that attach to the spine, attach to the skeleton, that keep us upright. And that is the big thing with vertigo. Keeping yourself upright, your head over your shoulders where it should be, not in front of them. Okay, so 10 forwards, 10 back. Okay, once you've done 10 each way, give yourself a bit of a rest, shrug out your shoulders, have a little sort of 20-30 seconds rest, do a second set. Build up to it, then do a third set. Okay, 3 sets of 10. You will know if you've done these correctly because they really do. You will really feel it all through your in between shoulder blades here and up a little bit higher to the base of the neck. But it's a really lovely loosening exercise as well. 3 sets of 10, forwards and back. Great. Last exercise, I need to move this bench out of the way, so just bear with me a second. Because we need the wall. What we also need is one of these, or you could again use your trusty cushion, but you want something that's going to give you a sort of like a 4-inch-ish block. Okay, so what we're going to do here is stand against the wall. So, centre of the thigh, centre of the foot. So that's your feet underneath your hips, toes as they should be. Second toe in, pointing forwards. You should be getting used to this by now. Heels against the skirting. Okay. Then you're going to go up to your hips, to your bum cheeks. You want to make sure that you're not favouring your right side or your left. You're nice and equally balanced. Same with the hips. Get equal pressure on left and right side of your bum cheeks. Okay. Once you've got that, and if you want to close your eyes and focus in on what your body's doing, that's great. Shoulders, shoulder blades, equal against the wall, left and right sides. If you have vertigo, you may be here, and you might not be able to see it, but your head won't be back on the wall, or maybe even your shoulders. If they're not, then we need to gradually get into doing this. So rather than, if you are here, rather than just doing that and that to try and get back, that's not going to help in the slightest. So do with bear with what you've got for the moment and let's see how you improve. So if you can get your shoulders back, one might be a little bit further forwards than the other one. Just keep a note on it, just pull that one back just a tiny bit more, get the brain used to this position. If your head does go back against the wall without you doing that, then brilliant. If it doesn't, go to a position that's comfortable for you at this moment, okay? The block is here to put between your knees, because what we want to do is create a little bit of tension on the inside and outside of the leg, okay? So just pop that in between the knees, get yourself comfortable. You want to feel a little bit of pressure, and if something is a little bit too soft, if it's too soft a cushion, that pressure really won't be there, so it's something sort of fairly firm, really. So it just gives a little bit of a dynamic tension through the legs up into the hips, okay? Enough to make a big difference, okay? So the guidelines for this exercise are 8 to 10 minutes. But what you need to do in that 8 to 10 minutes, if you can hold this position for that long, is breathe and focus on how it is feeling for your body. Now, initially, you might find lots of things start to kick in. The calves, the backs of the legs, the lumbar spine, tension across the shoulders into the neck. Different people will have different issues, okay? But if it gets a bit tricky, or if the legs start to ache or the calves start to kick in, come off the wall, have a bit of a walk around, shake out the legs, move the shoulders a bit, and then come back, do your positioning back again, and then restart the exercise, okay? So basically, that is it. Now, because the body is now in a straight line, and this is what it feels like to be straight, your heels, your hips, your shoulders, and your head are all nice and lined up, the body would have probably gone, oh, and tightened. Tighten what? Who knows, it'll be different for everybody. So what we can do here is take a deep breath in, and you're going to pull your tummy muscles in, pull the thigh muscles, pull your bum muscles, all the big muscles, pull them in nice and tight. And as you breathe out, you're going to focus on releasing the tension in each one, so the brain knows what is contracted and what is released. And when it knows that, it can deal with it, and you will do that automatically. Okay, so reposition yourself if you need to. Deep breath in, squeezing everything tight, and then as you breathe out, just let the stomach, the legs, your bottom muscle go. This is the main one for me. This one keeps kicking in. So you need to breathe into it. Okay? Don't hold your breath. Don't stand here thinking, right, what am I going to get the kids for tea? What am I going to pick my grandson up? I've got to go and do that. I've got to do the ironing. Oh yeah, the washing machine's just finished. Stop. Stop with that. Clear your mind. Get tuned in to what all this is doing. Because if you can tune in when things are tense, when you do contract muscles that you don't know that you're doing, you will recognise it. So again, after you've adjusted, you take another deep breath in, squeeze everything tight, pull it all in, and then as you breathe out, make sure it releases. And make sure it stays released, and make sure you breathe. Okay, that's you in a straight line. That's what it feels like. Okay, 8 to 10 minutes. Try and do as long as you can. Obviously, you don't need doing more than 10, but try and do as many as you can. 4 exercises, very simple to do. They should hopefully make a difference. Do them as stated, and as I say, if you've got any questions or any queries, or you feel great afterwards, or you feel pants afterwards, either way, let me know. There's probably something I can do about it. Alright, thanks ever so much. Bye.